We did it for cybersecurity. We made sure we were safe for cybersecurity, but the offspin of that has been so much more. I'm Sarah Fisher, I'm head of Newbridge Preparatory School. We take children aged 2 to 11 and we take boys up to just age 7. One of the challenges we were facing was ageing computer stock. Things were becoming slightly slower, staff were finding it very difficult to work in school all the time because they couldn't access any of their data at home. I was also becoming much more aware, because we were getting many emails from some of the associations we belong to saying be more aware of cybersecurity. And as a head, you don't have that expertise and you're always in that danger, aren't you, of thinking it won't happen to us, it could happen to somebody else.
It was pretty clear from the outset that we could either put a sticking plaster over it as a solution, or we could go all in. So in one sense, the stars aligned, and this was the time to make the investment into improving the technology infrastructure throughout the entire school.
We engaged with Coursera and said, look, can you talk us through the best way to make us cyber secure? And in doing so, they talked about using Windows 11 and the A5 licenses.
Bearing in mind, we've had many customers speak to us about the recent increase in cybersecurity threats. It was really exciting when Sarah reached out to us to discuss some future plans that she had in mind. We were able to assess all the key stakeholders, make sure we really understood what their roles were and how the changes that we were going to implement would affect them.
In reality, it was like building a whole new infrastructure across the school that then we could then operate appropriately.
All of the technology within the school changed. Moving to A5 Microsoft licenses offers the highest level of security for schools at this time. After the DfE released the white paper setting the minimum requirements for schools, I really feel like Newbridge has gone way beyond that now.
For all teaching staff and all office staff, we invested in the Surface Pros. We also then needed to upgrade our whiteboards, and we invested in clever touches across the school in every classroom. What we did have to do was make sure that we also invested in training.
I think certainly from Coursera's point of view, they saw that as not a would like to have, but as a must-have. And we were persuaded of that.
And that's partly because it was very different. It was quite a new way of working. Change is difficult sometimes. And what we didn't want to do is have staff fearful of the change. And I think that's one thing that Will at Tablet Academy communicated really, really well, that this isn't just about change for change's sake. This is change, A, for cybersecurity, B, for what it can do within the classroom, but also for teachers, how it can make their lives easier.
I think not Newbridge, but all schools, everybody really, any job, when you get a new computer, think, well, it's a new computer, I'll just do things quicker. But actually you realise that you can do things differently. So things like the way they share students' work, the ease with which they can reassign tasks for children maybe who need extension or need more support. All of these features become more and more apparent the more you get into working in the cloud and with devices like the Microsoft Surfaces they've got at Newbridge.
It's such a relief walking into a lesson knowing that all the ICT in that lesson is going to work. It's really enabled us to enhance our lessons, and they have impacted learning dramatically.
We've got iPads and we've also got touchscreen computers which are new. They're really nice.
They hadn't had touch devices before, but when we looked at how you could use the pen for snipping websites and then annotating that with the pen, highlighting text, straight away they could see that that was a really good way to prepare teaching resources.
We used to have a different password for logging onto the computer, Purple Mash, Century Tech, but now we've got one password which makes it a lot easier.
The other thing that was really good with the devices was the cameras. Suddenly they realised they could point their computer at a piece of paper or a book, and suddenly a paper resource was digital.
I work in science, so we can do experiments on a table and they're directly linked up. So the girls can see, the intricate parts of the experiment.
They can show what everyone's doing, which is really good because it's like you get inspiration from others.
She can help us out at home as well when we get stuck. She uses Teams and we've got access to a team account, so we get all the assignments and messages, we can see them as well. I've also noticed as parents, we've got a WhatsApp group and we're doing that less and less because they can just ask their friends. So for us, it frees a bit more of our evening up because she's working with her friends at the same time. They have the freedom to explore because it's being done safely. It's reassuring knowing that the school is investing in technology in the right way.
We've got safeguarding duties as a school. The whole ethos of the school is one of it being a cosseting, comforting experience for the pupils that attend here.
The decision to go wholeheartedly into this and take away all old devices was one of the best decisions that we made.
Technology is not going away. It's going to continue to play a large part in education, and that's going to increase. So I don't think you're doing your job properly as a director of a school if you don't look at these sorts of solutions.
The whole start of the project was basically making the school cyber secure. But then that has led into so many benefits. I really believe we are preparing our children for the challenges of a digital age.